Hey, so the other night at IDPA, I believe it was stage 3, right at the end, I fired my last shot after a reload and my slide locked. Uh, there was still plenty of rounds in the magazine, but it slide locked. I dropped the mag to go ahead and show clear, and it stayed at slide lock. It wasn't a round malfunction. It was actually slide locked using the slide lock mechanism. So I took apart the gun today to check it out, and this is what I got. All right, so the slide's off, and here's the slide release. See what's happening there? It's not fully returning back down. That spring is not real. It's doing what it's supposed to do. You can see the slide like sticking up there. Um, Comparatively to my compact, that thing snaps right down. And if I ride it down, it comes all the way down. There's a lot more pressure and tension on this one than there is on my Pro. Now, I I will admit, I put a APEX Tactical competition spring kit in here, and that was the first time I had ever taken apart this gun, so I don't know if I did something wrong. Any ideas? Thanks. Here we go. He's fixed. Comes all the way down. Alright, so what exactly happened? Why did this occur? What's going on? I have a MP9 Pro. It's a 5-inch gun. I've been using it for a while. Really, really love the gun, but the trigger was just a little bit heavy, a little bit gritty. You know, everybody knows the M&P trigger. So I'm not talking about the actual hinge trigger part versus the bar that the Glocks have. I actually don't mind the hinge at all. I was more worried and concerned and speaking to the take up being pretty gritty, as well as the just the break being a little bit more than I wanted for those longer shots. So I decided to put a APEX Tactical Competition Action Enhancement Kit in it. I'm somewhat mechanically inclined. I can change tires. I can change wiper blades. That counts, right? Okay, so I'm a little bit better than that, but so decided to go ahead and tear it apart. At that point, that was the first time I had taken a gun apart to that extent, where I pulled the rails out and stuff. I'm speaking to pistols. Military history, I had taken ARs, M16s and M60s apart, no problem. But as far as pistols goes, that was the first time. So apparently, when I put it back together, it went together, just fine. But when I put the front rail in, I apparently had weakened the slide stop spring. Somehow I had compressed it too much, bent it, did something to it, but I foobarred it, and that's why that slide stop was not returning to the down position as strongly as it should have. So I had done this a couple weeks ago, had shot the gun several times actually. Took it to the range for test firing and function checks, and ran it in a couple IDPA competitions. And this particular incident, it only happened once, and it looks like the meaty part of my offhand thumb right back here had pushed up. After my reload, I probably got a bad grip or something with my offhand, and managed to somehow push that up. So luckily it was on the final shot of my my stage anyway, and then when I looked down to go ahead and show clear there, that's what happened. Would I do it all over again? Damn right. You don't learn anything from succeeding. You only learn from failing. I failed on this particular component. Luckily, it didn't affect me in a competition or anything like that. But just be aware of this stuff, and lesson learned. Big shout out to Kevin for helping me out. Thanks, bud. uh, Merry Christmas, everybody. Have a good one. Out.